Hi, good evening and welcome to tonight's webinar. I'm here with Dr. Lanzagorta, who is, and I chose these words carefully when I was describing this webinar, a true Renaissance man here at San Aviv. I know he doesn't take that, he takes that very humbly. But yes, he's a man of many talents that brings a lot of information together here at San Aviv and everything he does. And this is going to be very exciting, what we're going to be learning about today, as Dr. Lanzagorta can speak from many, many different disciplines of health and healing. And he's going to talk today about healing in his own particular way. So thank you very much, Dr. Lanzagorta. I'll leave you to it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And indeed, it is a pleasure for me to be here with all of you. And also a joy because this is the first of many webinars that are going to be presented by San Aviv. And because it's the first one, I get the chance to explain so many beautiful things. Throughout the year, you are going to hear from our doctors, from chiropractors, from dentists, nutritionists, you name it. People are going to be here to pass along powerful knowledge. But what I'm going to explain tonight is truly the core, the pillar of this beautiful place. When Dr. Wentz founded San Aviv, he had a goal in mind, and that goal still is alive and is very powerful, and it's important to understand it so when the other doctors and health practitioners come over, you are going to understand that in the concept of the whole. So that's why it is very important for me, this particular lecture. If by any chance you are a person that is ready with a pen and pencil to take notes, I will discourage that. I'm going to go very fast and you are not going to be able to catch up with me. This is going to be recorded. And if you wish, at the end, my email or San Aviv's mail will be there. And I'll be happy to send you the information that you are going to see and hear in this lecture. So just fasten your seatbelt. Just relax, enjoy the screen, and just focus into the particulars. I will disappear from the screen because I don't want you to be distracting yourself with my movements and things like that. So please pay attention to this. It's the core of San Aviv, and also 3 important rules in case that you are dealing with any disease or you are trying to help someone with a disease process that totally will ground you on your path to recovery. So for us, let's start moving. San Aviv indeed has been founded by this beautiful man, Dr. Wentz. And you give me 1 second because the slide is not passing through. Just 1 second. So, and Dr. Wentz says that every cell is nothing but an invisible miracle and is working in harmony with 100 trillion cells, so we may celebrate each particular day of our lives. But he also mentions that we live such short lives and we die long and very painful deaths. And something is destroying this dream. And we ask ourselves if it is one of the thousands and thousands of diseases. But Dr. Wentz is very clear and says, no, there is only one cause of all diseases on earth, and that should be our focus. And the cause of all diseases is cellular damage and the body's reaction to that damage. So if a cell gets damaged, the cell will scream. And those screams, we call them signs, symptoms, weaknesses. But they are nothing but alarms ringing in your body telling you that there is a fire someplace and you need to find that fire. Do not bother so much with the alarms. But what is the error of allopathic medicine? Well, the fragmented view of the human being. We basically are taught to disconnect alarms. So if you have high temperature, I'll give you 2 pills. And if you have high cholesterol, 2 more pills. How you have high blood sugar, 2 pills. High blood pressure, we lower it with 2 pills. You have insomnia, take 2 pills. What about depression? 2 more pills. And if you are hyper and running naked through town, I'll give you 2 pills to depression. And if you are schizoid, you have autism, don't worry, 2 pills will take care of you. And do you have PMS? Please don't kill your husband. Just take these 2 pills. And what about heartburns? Another pill. And if you have diarrhea, please take 2 pills. And if that is not helping, put a cork on the rear end or even an avocado seed, but take the 2 pills. And so what is what we are creating? A society and a medical model that artificial chemicals are supposed to fix nature and natural life. But what about if these pills fail? Then we bring the heavy guns and we have chemo, highly toxic substances to the cells. We can burn you on selected burnings. We can mutilate you, called surgeries. And after we do all those things, what about after? A drug dependency for life. And all we are building is a tremendous tsunami of chronic, incurable, degenerative diseases that will bankrupt any country on earth. So Dr. Wayne says that what is what damages the cells? What type of damages are they? There are 2 types of damages. One is the direct damage to the cell right here and now, and another one, indirect, days, weeks, months, even years. So what about the direct damage to the cells? The first one is trauma. And yes, indeed, if you get in something like that, you will have cellular damage, believe me. So a health tip about that, please put your seatbelt and drive with full attention, okay? Now, the second damaging things, direct damage, is the free radicals. A free radical is an atom that has lost an electron, and because of that is unhappy, becomes aggressive, and steals electrons from other atoms. And this in turn takes from others and creates a domino effect of damages in the body. And the third direct damage is oxidative stress. This is oxidation, because an oxygen atom that loves fats, and guess what, our brain is 60% pure fat, and you do not want damage of free radicals in your brain, because then you can call the damage senility, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis. The name doesn't matter. What matters is there is cellular damage and there is a cause of that. So take a lot of antioxidants, because they donate electrons to subdue such a damage. Take all these type of things, and please do not miss the lectures from our nutritionists, because they are packed with information that is going to totally turn your life around. Now there is the indirect damage, and there are 4 ways to damage the cell indirectly. The first one is cellular malnutrition. The second one, toxic buildup. The third one is stress. And the fourth one, a negative mind. Let's talk about cellular malnutrition. If your cells are receiving this type of food, trashy, filled with chemicals, we can be obese and malnourished. We can be skinny and very well nourished. Nutrients are like the paper and the ink for our computers and printers. And if there is no paper nor ink, the job cannot be done. And that's the bottom end of things. So a health tip for that, take a nutrient-rich diet. And again, don't miss, please, the lectures from our nutritionists. What about toxic buildups? Well, our atmosphere and surrounding looks like this all over the place, all over the world. We are injecting chemicals, very toxic chemicals, into the foods. We put chemicals in the products as to make them different with GMOs and things like that. And our cells are receiving all sorts of artificial chemicals right and left, and this is what is happening to our cells. So a health tip, avoid those 100,000 man-made chemicals on food, flavors, cosmetic. USANA has incredible, fabulous cosmetics that you should try because they don't have toxic chemicals in there. And also clean foods. If you can afford the organic, go organic. If you can put your own garden, go for it. And as you treat your granddaughter with love, like right now I know of a grandma that is building a garden because she wants to give that granddaughter the best from the beginning of life, so treat yourselves in that way. Flush the system of those toxins with clean water. Take digestive fiber and clean those walls on the intestinal tract. Take probiotics because they are the cleaners of the body and the keepers of the health of the intestinal system. What about stress? Stress, we all suffer it. It's all over the place. So, when that stress becomes our own stress, is that we turn into a negative mind, because now it's not just the outside stress, it's the stress we are creating second by second. So a health tip, please learn a technique to relax, learn a technique to meditate, learn a technique that totally can transform that crazy world of us. And we teach you here at Sanoviv every morning those type of techniques. Get involved with new creations, because we are dreamers, and when we are creating a dream, we become powerful beings. And also, come to Sanoviv, at least for a good diagnosis, because the diagnostics that you will be here, you won't find it any place on earth. It's a diagnostics with medical doctors and chiropractors and dentists and psychologists and nutritionists and energy medicine and fitness, and everybody gets together to study you specifically. Because our goal, and Dr. Wentz's goal, is find the aggressive triggering factors of all these diseases, because they are creating a domino effect in your life. And if we can find that aggressive factor and take it away from your body, then we stop that collapsing of your system. And when we stop further damage, then what happens? You start providing the best of nutrients to the cells, you give the best of protection with antioxidants, and the cells starts to recover moment by moment. Because there is no cell on this earth that has been created for disease and death. Cells are programmed for life and life and life if you give them everything that they need. And they will get healed. Dr. Wentz saw that thousands of times in the laboratory. And here, I would like to tell you a little bit. You have received then the core situation here at Sanoviv. And it's very important. And that's what moves our vision as doctors here. But now I would like to offer you something that you truly need to understand if you want to transform your body. Because this is pure neurology, pure physiology, pure physiopathology. And if you understand this, doors ahead of you will open and you'll follow a very, very specific path. So let's go back to the slides here. Oh, 1 second. It seems we lost the game for a second. Okay, so these are our bodies. Beautiful donut. We have an outer skin, we have an inner skin, and we have a hole. And because of that, we are certified walking donuts on Earth. And in between the two skin, there is 100 trillion cells, and they have some needs because they cannot leave your body to get the things. So, what do they need? The flow of life, or vital energy, that is pure consciousness, and is capable of activating genes in 100 trillion cells so that it can produce this beautiful harmony that we call life. And in order to keep the body in perfect balance, like a sailboat in the ocean of our lives. And in the kitchen of every cell, this consciousness can put together the flows of the electromagnetic pulses, the sunlight, the oxygen, the water, and the nutrients from food, and it sparks life right there. It is life that sparks life on cells. It's not the cell that creates the life. But there is an important note here about food. Food is a packaging, and packages are meant to be destroyed. Even a child knows that, because we need to pick up the values, the nutrients within. But sometimes we open and eat a large meal that is empty because it's all trashy meals. And sometimes we take just a small amounts that reach hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of richness. So the first key that I would like to explain to you is, okay, all these substances are out there. How do I bring them inside to my cells? How the cells obtain these nutrients? Well, first of all, the oxygen throughout lungs, and if you have problems in the lung, it's going to be suffering there. All other nutrients on earth, absolutely, they come through the second skin, or they do not come to the cells. And which one is this inner skin? Is your digestive channel. This channel is truly the channel of life. This is where the body begins. On your outside skin is where the body ends. And we need to pay a lot of attention to this particular skin. So let's start with the first region. What are you going to do in the first area? Well, the first thing, take please a balanced diet. I don't care what diet you are following. Just follow this general advice. Every day take some fruit, some green vegetables, then some non-green vegetables. Put some leguminoses, and if you get bloated with leguminoses, find one among the hundreds that doesn't produce that effect on you. Take some animal product, and if you are a vegetarian, select butter, select milk. You are not killing the animal. And what about cereals and grains? Put some. And if you said no because gluten, Google, and you will find out that there is many cereals and grains with no gluten. Find the one for you and enjoy it. And nuts and seeds. But if nuts you are allergic, remember there are seeds. Find something to put in there. Because if you are taking excess of macronutrients like fats, like carbs, like proteins, or you are taking excess of micros because you are taking so many pills, my goodness, then what happens? The body starts tilting to the right or to the left. And if you become too alkaline for many months and years, you finish with a chronic degenerative disease. And if you go acidic for a long time, you finish with a cancer. So please don't miss the lectures from our doctors regarding cancer and all these issues. They are very important. What about the second region? The stomach. Well, there is where the digestion occurs. Through chemical digestions or mechanical digestions, it doesn't matter. We are going to break everything into pieces. We are going to take those pieces of Legos and we are going to build the Legos of hormones, the Legos of proteins, the Legos of everything that our body needs. So protect your digestion. The third region is called the duodenum. Here is where you digest the fats. But 60% of our brain is pure fat. Imagine the importance of fats. And fats are digested with the help of your pancreas, with the help of the bile, and a good liver that produces healthy bile. So take care of those things, and over the years you're going to hear many beautiful things about detoxifications, about digestive support, and things of that nature. Then the fourth region is the small intestine. This is a critical part of our system because it's the doorway to your body. This is the point of entrance. Either you are allowing or the substances will continue traveling. And what happens if you have poor digestion? The doorway is shut. And the substances, as they keep on traveling down, they finish in the dumping area. And the only beneficiary to your magnificent diet and nutritional products are every single being that lives under the toilet. But what happens if you have good absorption? Oh, then it's different. the filters of the intestine are clear, and they start absorbing, and they send all that directly to the liver. The liver transforms all those things and sends it through the pipes of the arteries and the blood. Where? To every cell that is screaming 24/7, feed me, feed me, feed me, please. So this is our first key. Pay attention to your diet, to your digestion, to your absorption. If your diet is trash, trash goes to the cells. If your diet is full of toxic chemicals, venoms go to the cells. If you do not digest, you create putrefaction and fermentation. If you do not absorb, you are wasting everything you are spending your money on. But let's talk about the second key now. The nutrients are in your system, in the blood. How do you take them to the cell? Because there is a huge distance inside the body. Who carries from the capillaries the nutrients all the way to the cells? Well, there is this beautiful, soft, connective tissue or matrix. And it looks like a sponge filled with extracellular fluid. We are 75% water. And in that sponge, the nervous system goes in, arteries, veins, lymphatic vessels, and this tissue is holding the cells of an organs and glands. And we dump over there the oxygen, and the oxygen has to travel through this maze and liquid until it rises to the cell, and the cell gets the energy to keep on going. And here is where we also dump all the nutrients, and they have to move through this bridge until the cell has everything that they need to do the job that they need. And what type of job a cell can do for you if it has all the nutrients? Well, muscular contractions, heart, intestine, everything. Production of so many proteins, digestive enzymes, protective enzymes, you name it. Hormonal productions, and you women understand this more than many others. And all sorts of substances that not even Home Depot has them on storage. Everything just to support the cell's function. But this tissue that we are talking about, this matrix, is a two-way road. It is where the cells also dump their feces and urine, the cell's metabolic waste, because they go to the toilet like we do every single moment of the day. And all that trash is dumped in there, and it has to travel through this bridge and liquid until it arrives where? To the trash collectors of the body. So, who are these trash collectors? First, the veins, the capillaries of the veins, because they pick up on gases and small particles, and then the lymphatic system that carries the refrigerators and the Christmas tree and the sofas that you dump to the streets, the big parts. These two join near the heart, and from there they are sent to the lungs. Why? So you can breathe the toxins out. They are sent through the kidneys and filtered right there. Why? So we can pick them out of us. They are sent through the liver, gallbladder, small intestine, and large intestine. Why? So we can poop them out. And they are sent through the skin if necessary, so we can sweat the toxins out. And those are the four major areas of detox. And again, don't miss the next lectures that are going to talk about detox on a much deeper manner. But what about this? Just contemplate this. What about if you become too passive? Then all this calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, manganese, salts, everything that is heavy, starts to sediment little by little over the weeks, the months, and the years. And we literally start creating hardening of this soft connective tissue. And the soft bridge gets blocked. And the nutrients do not arrive there. We literally start mummifying our beings. When we are born, we are rubber-like material. As we little kids, we jump and dance and laugh and play, and that's all our life. And then we become mummified, and we fight for our mummification, and we don't want to change because we love our mummification, and that is wrong. So what happens if the soft connective tissue is hard and the oxygen is not traveling properly? Then the cells first are going to start feeling a little bit tired. After that, you don't feel creativity, you don't feel passion for anything. You cannot truly laugh. You have lost the sexual energy. Life starts becoming very difficult. You sleep longer than you wish. You take siestas. And eventually the cell starts to feel asphyxiated. And in desperation, it triggers the emergency generator for energy, the anaerobic system. But this is very, very poorly producer of energy. And it produces a lot of lactic acid. And that lactic acid stays within the cell and around the cell. And it starts affecting the cell. And eventually your cells starts to say, it hurts, it hurts. And you go from doctor to doctor, and at the end you are told to go to the shrink because nothing shows up, but every cell is already suffering in your body. And eventually there is a cancer situation. So again, don't miss these lectures that are coming later on these issues. What about if the nutrients are not arriving properly because of the hard, soft connective tissue? The cells cannot repair themselves, period. Without nutrients, it's unable to do its job, period. The rest is, as the American says, BS. This is fundamental to understand. And what happens if you start accumulating waste because it's not being removed? The cells start living in this type of atmosphere. Soon they are living surrounded by their own feces and their sewage. And all these toxic chemicals that are getting trapped over there and they do not move, they become venoms for the microscopic cell. And what is the consequence of low oxygen, lack of water, nutrients, and high levels of toxicity? The ground is created for death. And thus our scope here at Sanoviv, to look into that ground inside the body and find out what is going on that the cells are screaming right and left in our lives. So how do I avoid this asphyxiation, malnutrition, toxicity, and lack of water? We need to create movement. And for that, the pump of the arterial system, yes, is the heart, we know that. But who pumps the venous system? Who pumps the lymphatic system? Who pumps the matrix? It is not the heart, but it is, and they are the muscles. Because every time that we squeeze a muscle, we are squeezing the soft connective tissue, and every liquid in there is sent out of there. And when we relax the muscle, that sponge sucks in every fluid back in. And so when I squeeze, I'm pumping oxygen to the cells, and when I relax, I am carrying the CO2 away from the cells, and I pump and the water goes to hydrate and to clean the cells, and when I relax, I take the dirty water out of the cells, and when I pump, the nutrients move in there, and when I relax, the trash is taken away from there. And we move the venous system, the lymphatic system, the nervous energy, contracting the muscles, and our life force. We do all those things. And this is our second key. How to take the nutrients inside, across the bridge of the matrix to the cells, and how to take the toxins away from the cell outside the body. And it's the cycle of life. And let's understand it. From the outside, through the GI tract, we bring to the inside of the body all the nutrients that our cells need. Then from the capillaries, through the bridge of the soft connective tissue, they arrive to the cell. And from the cell, all the toxicity of the cells through the soft connective tissue, they go to the detox organs and they are out of us. Anything that interrupts this flow will create weaknesses, disease, and early death. But there is a third key, is the master key. We have a brain, and the activity of the brain creates the mind. And there is an input of information coming through our senses to our brain. And that information goes through our memory banks and is analyzed. And out of that analysis, we project an image inside our heads. And so the images that we produce can be based on fears that we haven't been able to release. On abuses, especially many times sexual abuses that we still are carrying with ourselves. Angers that we never clear and they still creating such a passion against others. Insecurities that my nose, my neck, my hair, my breast, my thighs, my butts, whatever is too large, too big, too small, etc. Feeling trapped, especially on relationships that are already dead, and the only thing holding us together is the children or money or security. Or feeling lost and saying, why the heck did I came to this earth? My life is ending and I still don't know what am I doing here. When we have these type of thoughts, the autonomous nervous system automatically triggers the sympathetic response, the fight and flight response. And the first thing that happens, we contract muscles to get ready for the fight. But when that stress is constant, 27 through every means, then literally we start slowing or blocking the bridge to the cells because the muscles are so tense that you literally on a massage, the lady can tell you, you have something here, it looks like a tense muscle that is totally contracted. And what happened? Oxygen doesn't arrive, the water doesn't arrive, the nutrients do not arrive, and the trash accumulates, and the cells starts to go down, and that's how stress kills. So when you hear the psychologists are going to give a lecture, please don't miss it, because they're going to go much deeper than I'm doing right now. And the liver also, on those states, is giving out every single reserve, and you finish with no reserves, and when you have a real emergency, your system collapses. And also, the digestive system stops functioning because the blood is needed to fight the enemy. And then when you stop that, literally, the first door is shut, the second door is shut, and the cells starts telling you, I cannot do the job you are asking me. Sorry, I don't have the energy, I don't have the nutrients. We neutralize ourselves because one part of us wants to go one way, but the other part is doing the opposite. But the images that we create in our mind, they can be based on beauty, on love, on faith that God is with you 24/7, on hope for better things to come, on joy just for the sake of laughing and being crazy and a little bit stupid for nothingness, on security that someone more powerful than you is taking care of you, then the autonomous nervous system reacts. And what happened? The parasympathetic nervous system response comes over, and then that is called the relaxation and the healing of the body. The muscles relax, the bridge is open, the oxygen, water, and nutrients arrive, the trash is removed, and the liver starts to receive substances and creates a huge reserve for you in emergencies. And your digestive system opens up and this says, I'm ready, just send whatever you want inside your body and I put it right through. We open the doors and the cell says, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Because they have the energy, they have the nutrients, and you are in total integrity of being. So this is the master key. Because we are the only ones thinking on our heads. And with a click of this key, we can shut down the first key, we can shut down the second key, and the cells will finish like that. Or with a click over here, we can open the first key, we can open the second key, and the change will happen to our lives. It is so. It is so, and it will be so if you can find the way to do this. So it is our choice. As we are thinking, so the nervous system reacts. And as it reacts, we are going to feel, we are going to speak out of those feelings, we are going to act, and then we will become. Because it is from here, the head, that we create life or death. joy or sadness under the same type of stage, disease or health, abundance or lacks, togetherness or loneliness, love in many ways or fighting against love. Yes, we become as you think, so you become. And it's a truth, fundamental truth. So how do we recharge this being? How do we rejuvenate this body? How do we heal ourselves? The first thing is that you need to read nature's book. Because it's not an accident that we sleep 1/3 of our lives. Nature has its own method of healing all bodies on earth, and it's called sleeping. And we use it from our mother's womb, and we are using it and will be using it tonight. But it's important how we approach sleep time, isn't it? If it is our healing time. If we go to sleep after reading these social good readings of stupidities, or all the beheadings and burnings and rapes and murders and politicians and things like that, if we are having family fights and we go angry against each other, if we have economic stress that I haven't learned how to control, then the autonomous nervous system automatically, to protect you, is going to trigger the fight and flight response. You'll have nightmares every single second of the night, and you will finish exhausted like you had gone through a war, because you never had the chance to heal. You wasted that third of your life. So how do we approach sleeping time another way? Well, you can approach it with a body like this. Less the wrinkles, okay? Just relax. With a mind liberated from pasts that are gone, from futures that may never happen. With an upper heart filled with gratitude, and holding and trusting that God will be with you, and that the system knows how to heal itself. So the parasympathetic nervous system triggers the relaxation and healing response. You are open, you smile, you have beautiful dreams, you meet with beautiful people, even with angels. You fly, you swim on the oceans, you have the greatest of sex, and you will finish with a fantastic night, and in the morning all you feel is like singing, like saying, oh, what a beautiful morning, oh, what a beautiful day, isn't it? And we are ready for the day, and we are ready to handle and to create. So here at Sanoviv, we'll teach you many techniques to recharge, to rejuvenate, and to heal. And I'm going to show you one very quickly, but here we'll teach you more things. How to let go of the body stress just before going to sleep. Just start recharging your body. Learn to tense piece by piece of the parts of the body, the muscles from the buttocks to the stomach to the head. But because remember, as you are squeezing and relaxing, you are taking away stress. And as you take away stress, you are squeezing the matrix, and then you are sending oxygen and water and nutrients, and the trash is being removed just before going to sleep. And the cells get energy, and they said, we are ready to do our job. And then second, you need to bring the mind to the present and let go of the day and let go of the tomorrow. And for that, you need to focus your mind very, very clearly. You need to get away from the hurricane of life out there that is crazy, to the center within that is the eye of the hurricane, where peace exists all the time. Obviously, at that moment at home, you will close your eyes that are the curtains to the brain, and 80% of inputs to the brain goes through the eyes. So the brain is going to start slowing down, and you will see when you close the eyes nothing but darkness, just as you do every single night. But this time, instead of going unconscious from the beginning, you are going to keep your awareness as much as you can. And you are going to start paying attention to the most beautiful rhythm, besides the rhythm of the ocean waves. And without forcing it, slowly, without trying to stop it, Just observe the gentle cycle of life that your lungs provide while breathing. The chest expansion, the contraction, the gentle movement of life day in, day out. Because breathing occurs in the now, not in the future nor the past. So when you start seeing your breathing, eventually mentally start used to say, thank you. As you take the breath of life in, mentally say thank you. As you contract and release the breathing, send a kiss of love and gratitude to the giver of all life, with whatever name you want to call that giver of life. So that all of a sudden, these exercises not just bring oxygenation and nutrition and detox, but relax the body, focus the mind on the present. You start entering into prayer, and then you fly back home in consciousness as your body enters the healing space. And in the morning you will feel like a champion, and you will feel like you have been loved at night time by something very beautiful that you don't remember. And you said, this is a beautiful, beautiful morning. And so, I hope that this lecture has given you some insights, some guiding things of what San Oviv is all about. What is our main core? And from there you see like branches opening up to treat so many things here. But the philosophy behind is this powerful philosophy of Dr. Wenz. It's all about the cell. Everything is cellular damage. Please find out what is damaging your cells. And if at home you find someone like this, please offer a strong and loving hand. Tell them about the master key that exists within, and then put them on the hands of God and teach them the technique at night. And if you find someone like this, that literally their body is not responding, then what to do? Teach them about the first key and how to open the digestive system. Teach them how to open the bridge to the cells, because then life will come to them. And tell them about this beautiful man and his legacy of everything that he is leaving behind that can help you to heal, to correct the inner skin, the channel of life, the intestinal system. You Usana people know best about this. And if money is their issue and they are concerned, don't send them away just with crazy dreams where they are going to crash on the next mile. But first, do a budget with them and ground them very powerfully. And if you don't know how to make a budget, go to this website and learn from this man, Dave Ramsey. It's incredible how he can transform the economics through budgeting on a person. So they put strong roots, and out of those strong roots, a beautiful tree comes over with birds, with children, with fruits, with everything that life is all about. And if loneliness is their issue, then please invite them to your team. Make them part of something powerful to transform their lives and the lives of the ones that they love. And if you find someone like this, that all they see from is death, please tell them about this beautiful place. Tell them about this powerful functional diagnosis. Even if they just come for that, their lives will be transformed, because they will go home with a home program specifically created by the health team just for them. Or stay here for treatments. Medical programs that we have that are incredible. Find them on the website. Cancer programs. dental programs, incredible biological dentistry, and don't miss those lectures, please. Health and education programs that people are more and more coming over here. So, this is the end of our beautiful lecture here. They say that life is full of new beginnings. May this be one of your happiest ever and ever. And that is truly the wish that I have for you. And if you have a chance, please, please come over to San Aviv and enjoy and go home just like that, rejuvenated, filled with life, filled with joy because of this powerful, powerful dream. And we stop here the slides with just go and visit the website. If you need this information, I'll be happy to send it, or it will be recorded also. And so we go now to the part over here that is for the camera, and so that we can start, Jonas and I, discussing some of the questions that perhaps they were received while we were speaking.
Okay, well, wow.
Thank you, Jonas.
I think all of you, I mean, just sitting right next to Dr. Lanzagorta, I felt that energy. I'm sure you did as well, whether you were a mile away or 1,000 miles away. This is very powerful information, and I love how Dr. Lanzagorta really sums up everything that we do here at San Aviv, and he has such a wide scope of all these different things that we do. It's just so helpful to hear that. So, a couple of questions, Dr. Lanzagorta, that came through. Someone says, so many things, where does someone start? Because it's so many
Yes,
areas.
indeed. I wish you could come here for 3-4 days and get lecture after lecture after lecture. And then you said, now I understand. I wish you could come over here at least for the 4 days diagnostic programs. Because if you come over here, believe me, today I have a client, I was doing some energy testing, and he says, I never thought at my age, he's around 65 or so, I never thought at my age I could see so many things that I didn't even have an idea they exist, and you have so many things here. Don't take these lectures as the general type of medical diagnosis and plan for anything like that. In general, if you review this, it will tell you specifically, protect your diet, protect your digestion, protect your absorption, protect your detoxification, take antioxidants, do all those things. They are already there. Just review the lecture. I know it was extremely fast, but it's not for 1 hour. This lecture is for many hours. Go through them and study it, and then put it together with your life and follow the next web seminars over here. And believe me, you get a lot of information. But if you truly want to transform your life, don't look at San Aviv through the screen. Please come. These 4 days, it's less expense than a used car. Make that effort at least once in a lifetime. And believe me, that your eyes and mouth will be like, oh my God. And that is San Aviv.
Okay. One more. What are some ways that you recommend to stay positive in the mind, as you were talking about the master key? What are some simple ways that someone can do that again?
There is a beautiful man that says this. I have these stallions, and I don't ride them all the time. And when I go to ride my big stallion, and he starts smelling the mirrors, he becomes very active, and he tries to kick me out and kick me against the fence, etc. He says, and all I do is remind him that I am the master of the mind. And I stay there, and I don't move an inch, and I don't try to take him any place except there and there and there and there until that horse goes, and then I understand that he says, okay, I'll do it your way. And if I start walking and the same thing happens, then you stick to it. There are beautiful systems. One of them, if you have a chance, get the book that is called Entering the Vortex by Abraham Hicks. It does have a CD with 4 very short 15 minutes meditation techniques that are with music, with breathing, gently breathing, breathe in, breathe out. And in that particular one, you will be able to quickly learn how to tell the horse, the stallion of your mind, from now on, you are not running back and forth. For example, there is thinking. Thinking is all directions type of process of mind. You can go from today and you are thinking about your kids and you are thinking about that person that you had heard this lecture and didn't, and you are thinking about what you're going to do in the future and you wish you had known in the past, and that is the mind. It goes all over the place except in the now. Then there is contemplation. That is like the scientist, like Dr. Wenz, where you just have one direction of thoughts. Dr. Wenz, the cell. And he can talk to you about the cell for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and you give up and he keeps on going, because that is that specific part of contemplation. Then there is also concentration. And concentration is when there is no movement of the mind. You are stuck on a point and you stick to the point, and there is no process of mind going one way or many ways. And then there is meditation. And meditation is when there is no mind anymore. And to go through that space of no mind, I wish I had the time here to tell you about the brain and the brain waves and how we go through this process. But at least understand this. Concentrate onto your breathing. In and out, in and out. Get your mind involved in your heart. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. And when you do it 5 minutes, the mind is going to say, oh, what a boring situation. And it's going to start slowing. Please give me a break. I don't want to say it anymore. Thank you, Father. I want to think about my dog, my money, and the next million. You keep on focusing and focusing, and it will come a moment, believe me, that you will be there. There is nothing but consciousness. Mind doesn't move. You are conscious. You are in the present. And in the present, you can only go out straight to God or go inside the body and have the body heal. That's the best I can tell you. Is that okay?
Oh, that's more than okay.
Then is
Yeah.
another question or something like
No,
that? Or this is the time
we're
to
good.
stop? Okay.
If anything, I think many of you that are joining us right now have experienced one of Dr. Lanzahorta's classes, and I know that each and every one of his classes at the end, he hugs every single person, as I don't know exactly, but what I imagine is the ceiling, that class with love, with compassion, with a physical bond between the people.
Yes.
So, Miguel, any last words to just do that energetically, since you can't hug them?
Only that, no? It is true that when we have these beautiful thoughts and then these meditations and someone is guiding you moment after moment, there are so many beautiful experiences here. People that comes out totally in tears and they say, I don't know what happened. I just started to cry out of nowhere. People that says, I just felt like electricity running through me. What is this? It's nothing. It's just the mind stopping. And it's very much, our thought process are like the clouds. The sun is always there. Always, always. You may not see it because of cloudiness, especially if they are very dark. But then all of a sudden, you slow down the thought process, and the clouds starts to become thinner and thinner and thinner. And a moment of later, you see the rays of light coming through. And you said, oh, what a beautiful heat. And that's what people experience here. There is no need to go any place to find God. It has been told to us that God is within ourselves. But the only thing is that we need to go into this silence and slow the mind, and then all of a sudden, within this darkness within, you may see flashes of the most beautiful light, brighter than thousands of suns, but that doesn't hurt. Or out of this silence within, you hear this beautiful voice telling you, welcome home, welcome home. Or you may feel that someone touches your heart and you start melting into tears and you just don't know what. You have seen, you have heard, you have felt the presence of God within you. So I do wish that you take Sanoviv as it is. It's an incredible dream place. It's a place that if you have diseases, you have a child that is not reacting, older child, we don't accept truly very small children. But that you have a husband, a wife that is telling you about something that is not working. Or people with heavy, strong, chronic, degenerative diseases, arthritic conditions or so. Don't wait until they tell you there is nothing else to do. Get together a team, put together your economics at least for the 4-day diagnostics. Come and have the veils open up and see how all these people here, the doctors there, especially psychologists, how they go and take you from the heart and they open you up and they reflect your things that are killing you without you knowing. The dentists that check the meridians in your teeth that are affecting your health. The chiropractor that checks your emotions and it does this muscle. And even the person today, he says, I was with this chiropractor, and then he says, I'm going to push your leg and hold it. And then he says, think of love. And I was very strong. And then he says, think of hate. And poof, my leg went down. He said, how can this happen? Because we are integrated beings. I thank you very much for your presence. May you feel the presence of the one that is holding us all together. And I thank you very much to Bill and company for allowing me to speak tonight. And thank you, Jonas, because you truly are someone that stays here to say, come on, keep on going. Okay? So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And have all of you a beautiful day.
Folks, thank you so much for joining us. Next month, we will have a webinar with our resident nutritionist, Oscar Puig, and he'll be talking about a lot of the things that you were talking about, how nutrition can be the best medicine for a lot of these chronic degenerative diseases, especially those that affect our metabolism, which are some of the most serious ones. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Take care.
Thank you. Indeed, a beautiful, beautiful. You can feel everything, and it's very, very nice. Okay, very nice. See, have a good night.